Excuse the fan sound in the background, but it's still too hot for this. Right now I'm gonna put that bracket back. Goes on that bolt and that bolt over there. That is why this transmission harness was all wrapped around itself and zip tied and all that. It was, this wasn't hooked up to it. So I'm gonna give her a go, see if we can put it back and prevent that from happening again. Bracket back on and harness routed to where it won't get torn up and pulled all around itself. Stuff like that just makes me feel better. So right now I just have the main harness going down here. Then kind of just sitting here. Trying to get the routing right. Paying no mind to these two wires. It seems to be happiest back here and then running everything behind that injector. Right there. That's where the fuel injectors go. The dual sync comes out right here. The IAC is back here. The coolant temp sensor, and the TPS. You can kind of see TPS comes out here. The throttle, or the IAC, is a little long, so I'm going to run it out around here at the end of the plug. This one's going to be a little long, but we'll see. Everything's pretty happy down in there. So I think I can bring these instrument cluster wires over in this harness and then back down and around. Sorry it's so hard to see, but I wanted to throw a bunny and intake on just with a bolt to make sure my routing was going to be okay. And it looks pretty good, other than I'm going to move the IAC wire up and around the last part of the fuel rail. And then while I got the upper intake off, I'm going to go ahead and extend the oil pressure and coolant light and loom that in there. And then once I get all, like, from here to here straight, I'll start worrying about this. There's plugs I don't need. It's got an internal map sensor. I don't need an external because I'm not turbocharged or forced induction or anything like that. So I will tuck that away. I don't need a fuel pressure one yet. There's a fuel pressure wire in here, and I'll get that. Eventually, I will get that and plug it in, but I don't have it right now. So that's the plan. It's tough to see, but that's the oil pressure sensor Holley connection. And I loomed it with the factory connection. Then I'll use the Holley one when I get a sensor. And then it comes up here. I gotta tighten that loom up a little bit. I see that little red wire poking out. And it goes, and I loomed coolant temp sensor into it under the distributor. And the Y right here. The dual sync wire is the one going right in the middle of the wires. And it all goes behind the fuel rail, nice and neat. Again, sorry for the fan. Coolant temp sensor comes out the same spot. IAC comes out. It's going to go like so to the IAC. Throttle position sensor here. And push that down a little bit. It'll have a little tail on it for what you get a wire, but not too bad for all the wiring going under the fuel rail. These three right here, I don't need them right now. But all in all, it looks like it'll fasten pretty good to the firewall. And back here. I'll have to get some soft shells or clamps or something, but I might even be able to utilize that bracket, I'm not sure. But everything looks like it's going to tuck nice and neat behind the intake, under this fuel rail. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's almost like it was made for it, kinda. It would have been a little easier if it had the Fox body coolant temp sensor facing up right here. It would have been a little bit easier. It would have given me more room back here. But yeah, not too bad. Got those two cluster wires in the loom. Pretty much the layout from over there, you know, all the way from the oil pressure sensor all the way back here is pretty much done. I'm going to tidy it up in there just a bit. But yeah, I'm going to put some fuel lines back on. Upper intake, I may do this wiring before the upper intake. Probably. But yeah, I'm at a good stopping point, being it's still 85 degrees in the garage. Time for some more Minecraft dungeons. Well, that's all the ECM side of the Terminator wiring. I did get it through the fender, or through the grommet hole. That thing's always been kinked since I undid it, or since I took it out and straightened it out. I kind of had a kink in it, and I'll fix that. But I did get all this through. Fuel pump relay, your outputs, your power taps, fuel pump fuse. Got all that in here. It's looking like if I can get that stuff to mount in here where the factory ECM would be, I'd be pretty happy. I did look. I went ahead and took the Fox body bracket out of the box, and it does fit the SN95 seat bolts. So I'm going to pull the seat out and see if I can get these guys under the carpet, mounted just like a Fox body, and then, like I said, keep all this stuff mounted up in here where the factory computer would normally be. That'd be super clean, I think. Back out under the hood, it's going through that hole, and everything's wanting to live back here pretty nice. The ignition and the fuel injector wires, the connectors, I'll have to make a holder for. Sorry, I cut my video off by accident before. But yeah, these two two connectors I'm gonna have a nice home for, and then make sure it's attached, the harness is attached everywhere it needs to be. But yeah, I think that part got cut off before. And I did see on a video on another channel, the transmission harness goes here, comes up here and hits, sits here. So that was pretty nice. But yeah, onto the inside, I got the seat removed. And this car was a daily driver, so of course soda's got drink in it and spilt. So I mean, you can't really do anything about that. It's happened to all of us. But yeah, I won't be dailying it, so I won't hopefully spill anything in here. I'm gonna give that a whirl while the seat's out. But the Fox seat bracket mounts awesome. Kind of like this is a Fox 4 body style, but the wiring looks like I'm gonna be able to route it kind of down here over, just like a Fox body. So I'm pretty excited about that, because when I first looked into it, I wasn't too sure what I was gonna do with all this, but it's looking like it's coming together pretty good. This ad break was brought to you by Resolve. It cleans stuff pretty good, apparently. Got the hole cut in the carpet. I'm sure I'm gonna have to pull it back a little bit, but I wanted to pull it through, just to make sure I got it all the way through there, and it's basically running, you can kind of see it right there. It runs below the harness that was already here. You can kind of see it under there. And it makes the trip over the little piece of metal here, and then makes a turn and goes out there. Once I put it, once I get all that straight and I pull it where I need it to go, I'll fool with putting the control module down and all that. But yeah, so far so good. There's plenty of wire left, so I'm sure I'll probably tuck it back up in there like I was saying.